Within the Uma Musume community, there's been one oddly persistent question. Do Umas only have horse ears, or do they also have human ears? And at this point, the answer is simple. They have both. This isn't speculation, it's something the series quietly confirms through consistency, design logic, and how Umas actually function in their world. First, let's talk about design. In almost every Uma, the area where human ears would be is intentionally hidden by hair. This happens with long hair, medium hair, and even short hair. The artists consistently avoid exposing that part of the head for a reason. It's definitely not accidental. If human ears didn't exist, there would be no reason to hide that space so carefully, and the fact that it's always covered tells us something is there, and the series just chooses not to draw attention to it. Next, let's talk about functionality. Horse ears are extremely sensitive and directional. They rotate, twitch, and react instinctively. That's perfect for racing and high-speed awareness. But horse ears are not practical for normal human life. And yet, Umas attend school, use phones, wear earbuds and headphones, hold conversations in loud environments. All of that requires hearing designed for human sound ranges and technology. The thing is, the simplest explanation to this problem, quote unquote, is also the most logical one. Horse ears serve an athletic and emotional role. They act as sensory amplifiers and visible indicators of mood, while human ears handle everyday hearing, communication, and compatibility with human society. Both these ears are essentially two systems with two different purposes. This also aligns with what Umas are biologically. They're not humans with animal accessories, they're a distinct hybrid species, one that inherits physical traits from racehorses while still living entirely within human civilization, keeping human anatomy where it's necessary and adding horse traits where they provide an advantage. It makes perfect sense. Now let's talk about the hair. The hair is not there to confuse viewers, it's there to avoid over-explaining. By never directly showing human ears, the series preserves its aesthetic and avoids awkward anatomical focus, while still making the answer obvious through how Umas function. This should be obvious, so I won't really go into more detail about this. Now, I would like to mention, biologically, having both human ears and horse ears is impossible, because mammals can only develop one functional ear system from the same embryonic structures, meaning you cannot duplicate ears without breaking skull formation and neural wiring. Each ear requires a full sensory system, outer ear, middle ear, bones, inner ear, nerves, and a vestibular balance system, and adding a second parallel set would overwhelm the brain and cause conflicting auditory damage and balance signals, and result in severe dysfunction. On top of that, a human-like skull simply does not have the physical space to house both a human ear system and a much larger, differently angled horse ear system, without compressing the brain or causing lethal craniofacial deformities. The skeletal and muscular attachment points for human and horse ears are also directly in conflict. They're meant for different animals, and they evolved differently, so making proper placement and movement of both anatomically structured ears for both of them would be unworkable. So as a result, such a configuration would fail during embryonic development and would be non-viable in real biology, which is why this concept only works as a stylized fantasy rather than a realistic organism. Though we also have to look at the wording of Umas. Their name could consist of horse girl. The thing is, horse is presented before girl is. So logically, you could say that their horse features should be expressed more than their human features are. So horse greater than girl, if that makes any sense. Though this is still just an anime game, so it's kind of just stylized. So I would say this isn't necessarily up for debate. The point is, Umas have both human ears and horse ears. We see this in the show and sometimes in the game. So the show just trusts the audience not to notice. If you stayed here this long, thank you, Arima loves you, and bye.